Boxing King Media in association with Boxer. A proud manager, Kevin Marie, Callum Simpson, another blowout. Were you expecting that, Kevin?
With him, yeah, of course. Listen, Ben is an absolute warrior, and I did think we'd get rounds tonight because Ben is, he's a credit to the sport because he's a tough man. He's just gone the distance with Thomas Whitaker-Hart, who's the weight above, and he's a concussive puncher. But nobody can live with this man. I'm not one to be shouting and screaming and doing silly things, but with this guy, you can't help it because he is the best prospect. Nobody can stay with him.
He's frightening, but he looks like the nicest kid in Barnsley.
I am the nicest kid. Just not in the ring. That's how you got to be, aren't you?
Were you expecting that fight to go in 2 rounds? Because he's never been stopped before. He's had 7 fights, and like I spoke to him earlier, he's been in with some good fighters as well, and he says you're the best.
Yeah, he's been in with some top fights. To be honest, I didn't think it was going to go in 2. I thought it was going to be 3. But yeah, I thought I was pretty confident we were going to get him out. Well, to be funny, I wanted to get him out of there. I didn't want to be going rounds with. No disrespect. Like I said, he's a top lad. Like I said, he's gone the distance. He's never been stopped, never been put down, never had a count. He's like I said, went the distance with Tommy to cry at last minute notice, and he's had a full 10-week training camp for me at his actual natural weight. And but yeah, like I said, I believe that there's the levels, and I believe I'm levels above. And like for me, if I believe I knew that if I believe I'm as good as I am, and everyone's saying, then I should be stopping kids like that. 100%.
How important was it, Kevin, that he stopped him in dramatic fashion? Because obviously the guys that he stopped before, there was still a few people saying, well, he ain't really been with anyone with a winning record, and the guys that he stopped, somebody else could have stopped him. But I know the guy that he stopped last time round, a light heavyweight, went 8 rounds with him. Yeah,
and the guy who he just knocked out has just gone, I can't remember the name, he's just gone the distance with, but he's just come back and gone the distance with somebody else who's really good. But that's what happens with Callum, and he's going to do that with a lot of other opponents. He's only had 10 fights. But can I just say something? There's a guy over there, Mark Hurley, who's worse than me for not wanting to be involved in interviews, and he's a real unsung hero because he's trained Callum and he's come on leaps and bounds, and I'd love to bring Mark over so you can say hello to Mark, because I think people need to know who he is, because Mark,
come here, mate.
Because he's a trainer who I really respect. He's doing a great job with the fighters. He's got a fantastic gym, and he's not one for coming into interviews. So I think it's only fair we bring him over.
Come on, Mark.
Jump in, Mark.
Get on here, mate. Get on here. You got on that.
So, Mark, Kevin's just been singing your praises, saying sometimes you don't like doing interviews, but and he's paid you off. Sung hero in this. Callum, obviously, he's doing some amazing things in the ring. So you've probably seen his full potential in the gym.
In the gym, yeah, see his full potential. Tonight, I know what he can do. We didn't get to see anything what he can do tonight. Besides the fact that it was over quite early, he didn't quite fight like I know he can fight. But saying that, he did exactly what he had to do under them circumstances. Ben got a cut very early on. It was very bad. We knew, but we didn't want to go for a technical draw, so he did what he had to do.
I know how bad the cut is because I'm covered in his blood.
Yeah, it was a very bad cut. I looked over, I could see doctors like shaking. One was shaking her head at her, and I think we were close to pulling it after the first round. I think that they let it go another. I don't think it'd have gone past second round if you hadn't got him out of her.
You're probably the best person to ask this, Mark. How quickly can we progress him? Because obviously he's blowing everybody away, but obviously everyone, timing's key in boxing. Yeah. So how quickly do you want to progress him?
I'd like to progress him quick, but we need to see how he does going into more rounds up against more capable fighters. But I do believe in him a lot. We have got a lot of work to do still on his craft. We have still got a lot of work to do, but I do feel that we can get that in as we're going along. I'd like to capitalise on his youth. So I'd like to move quickly, but under the correct circumstances.
Sound. And Callum, coming back to you, I feel like there's shades of Joe CALZAGHE, but with a lot of natural power. Tonight's performance, do you feel like you maybe might have scuffed some of your work, but was it like Mark saying you had to get the stoppage?
Yeah, I think the first round I was a little bit eager, didn't really get my jab going. I was a little bit sloppy, to be honest. And then obviously, like I said, as soon as I come back after the first round, Mark said to me, get him out of there. That cut, as I looked over the corner, I could see the doctor looking, and Mark said, get him out of there. And what Mark says, I do.
I was pushing him more in that first round because I couldn't see what was going on. So, where I would have let him sit off a little bit more. I was pushing him more. We needed to get him out of there quick. I felt 100% confident that Ben wasn't going to be a threat to Callum, and so I pushed him forward in the first round. So if he did look a little bit, different to how he usually fights, it's down to that.
Final words from you, Callum?
Yeah, I just want to say a massive, massive thank you to obviously all my supporters, everyone that's coming through from that Barnsley, Yorkshire way, come over to support me, especially in these hard times at the minute. People paying their hard-earned money to come and come out, make a long journey to come support me. It means a lot. And when I walked out tonight, Raw was just wicked, mate, wicked. Like I say, first of many big nights. Obviously, thank you to Kevin. I signed with him less than a year ago, and it's my 7th fight in less than a year. So, what more can you ask for? And I've just won an area title and manager for the English, so what more can you ask for from a manager? And obviously a big thank you to Mark, like Kevin says, unsung hero, absolute top man. Don't ask for nothing, don't like the camera, he's dedicated and do you know what I mean, puts a lot of his work into us, and I've come on massively, and we've got a lot, like I said, we've got a long way to go, so we both know what needs to be done, and we're going to go to the top, yeah. And obviously thank you to our sponsors as well, Estabulo, Tile Sub, Salt House, Ayers Fencing, and Spring Green Nurseries. Thank you very much for their support. Obviously, I'm just waiting to leave work now, so like I said, so hopefully next month I should have left work and be able to train full time. And like I said, at the minute, like I said, for this fight, I've still been working full time. I've still been working 5 days a week. You know what I mean? And I'm training 11 times a week, 6 days a week. It's hard. You know what I mean? It's really hard, but it needs to be done. It needs to be done.
Definitely. And last word, Kevin, this kid's as good as, if not better than, a lot of the kids that are fighting on TV. Is bidding going to start opening up for Callum Simpson to be signed up by one of the promoters?
Bidding might have already started.
Okay.
Bidding might have already started, so I'd just say watch this space. I love the Joe CALZAGHE comparison. It's good. I mean, the style that Joe CALZAGHE had, he used to sort of drown people, and that's what Callum does. He takes them to the deep waters where, they're worried that he's a big power puncher, which he is, but there's not one shot that they can sort of get ready for because he throws 10 combinations. It's just, it's just frightening, and that's what CALZAGHE used to do. He used to drown people. They just couldn't get away from it. This kid is going all the way, and I can tell you something now. In the next few years, he's not just going to be one of the biggest names in this country. He's going to be one of the biggest names in world boxing. Save this interview, remember I said that.
And his next fight, is it likely to be on TV? Can you give us any hints?
Watch this space.
We'll leave it on that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.